have Haitham, founder of Jules, coming to us right now, and what he is doing with his Medjool dates, I think unique. Of course, it fits in this better for you category, but he's also adding things like ashwagandha, maca, ginger, turmeric, etc. And it really goes in this zeitgeist of make America healthy again, better for you, etc., etc. We need to bring him in here and talk with us right now. Everybody, welcome to the show, Haitham Shendy, founder of Jules. Get in here, Haitham. Get in here.
Hey.
Yeah.
Thanks, Chris, for the intro. I mean, like, I'm gonna play this in my next job interview for sure.
All right, great, man.
Thank
Haitham,
you.
brother, this is our first time to ever talk, but I have known of you on the D2C X Twitter timeline for some time now. Man, before we dive into Jules and what you are doing with it on Amazon, Shopify, etc., brother, you've got to give everybody a little context on you, some origin story, because what I will say, there's not too many founders in our space who are winning, growing, that have the kind of background you do, massive on the companies that you've worked with, supply, how to manage that globally, etc. Man, tell us how you got here to where you are today.
Sure, yeah, it's interesting because when you tell the story back, it's like, it's unique. But I have ADHD, and that explains 90% of why I did everything. So for first, I can't have one job for too long. I can't do the same thing every day. And
Feel
I
that.
tend to move fast and get things done. And
Feel
usually
that.
what happens is I get there, I get curious, I get things done, and then I start wondering what's next. Sometimes next is just right there somewhere else. Sometimes it's in different country, different company. So yeah, I started like 16 years ago. That was my first job was P&G. I started with P&G on the manufacturing floor doing diapers. And
Wow.
then after that, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get like broader and more. So I joined PepsiCo as an R&D product developer. So I was doing all like new flavors, new products. I moved to Dubai, which was a new experience for me. And then after that, I came to the US in 2017, joining Unilever as a project manager during COVID. Again, making things, breaking things, moving fast. And then after that, I got an opportunity from Gucci, which was like the perfect opportunity for my ADHD brain. Like,
That's
you know what?
crazy.
You have a
Let's go.
CPG experience, but what if you can try something completely new and different?
Yeah.
Went there, did things. They offered me to go to Milano, which I said, you know, guys, sorry, I just came here. I'm gonna stay here for some time. I have a family, so I went back to CPG, which I love CPG. Like I've been in CPG for 16 years. I can't get away from CPG. I came back to CPG, worked with some startups like Amica, and then joined where I am right now. It's a Johnson and Johnson consumer goods. So I'm leading a $2
Wild.
billion portfolio. Um, and I was lucky enough that my managers, like, they know how I work, and they just give me the freedom and the fun and
Really?
the the autonomy. So I never called it a job. I know we get a lot of hate in our community, like the CPG community from the corporate world. But for
Right.
me, it was never a job. I'm always doing what I love doing. I have enough time to like chase my own dreams and business and ambitions. And yeah, I'm as happy as ever.
That is
Uh,
wild.
Yeah, that's absolutely unbelievable. I would love to dive in a little bit more about your time at Gucci. The way that I know Gucci is from the Tom Ford era where Tom Ford took over and, revitalized the brand and set them on a course correction for explosion that we know today. Could you talk a little bit about that? And were you interacting or intersecting with those paths at all?
So I was hired by Gucci to build their supply chain in the US. So
Yeah.
Gucci is part of Kering. Kering is the mother company. They have
Yeah.
Gucci, Balenciaga, YSL,
Yep.
and many other brands. And if you remember back in 2020, right after COVID, Gucci was growing like double digits every year. So their
Yeah.
supply chain, the Kering supply chain couldn't hold the Gucci brand. And they were looking to
Wow.
establish their own supply chain away from Kering. And that was my main job to deliver. That was a 3 years
Wow.
project that I delivered in a year because I brought what I learned in like big companies like PepsiCo and P&G when it comes to supply chain, and I just like it's like a cheat code. Like you learn something there, you go somewhere else, you apply it, it works, you get all the credit, and just like you're you, you look like a magician. It's just like it's a mix of art and science. So that's what I did at Gucci. Like, hey guys, you know what? If you want your supply chain to work, this is what you need to do. If we do it, we don't have to build any new warehouses. We don't have to move merchandise. And the good thing about Gucci is they have money, so they can just like throw money on any problem and solve it. But when you mix this with the right experience and the right approach,
Yeah.
you get 2x, 3x results.
I hope they gave you a Gucci suit for doing it in 3 years. Absolutely phenomenal.
It is phenomenal.
For my discount, for sure, yeah.
No,
That's
Haitham,
awesome.
you know, when I think of big corporate, brother, I think of everybody being like in chains, like locked up,
Yeah.
like unable
Afraid.
to, afraid, unable
Yeah.
to freely fly and do their thing. But man, when I talk with you, man, you're like a butterfly. You're doing exactly what you want. You're in your lane. And you're crushing it. I'd love you to just describe that, but also since you're doing that, man, now you've got this new little baby startup that's your own. It's your own product. And
Let's
there
go.
you
Let's see it.
show it off to the people here.
Yeah, we got to see it. Let's give the full look here.
I mean, you've got
All right.
jewels packaged. I mean, how did you move over
gosh.
here from doing supply chain for these giant, and then now I want to do this and got over here? I mean, describe that for us.
So, like I've always been doing something on the side. This something could be software. I'm building an application. I'm learning whatever it is. So I had like in the past, I had waffle shops. I had an online grocery store, and I was always doing this next to my corporate job. Because again, I said I have ADHD, so my energy is always on. I need to keep myself busy.
Wow.
But this time, I wanted to be more intentional with what I'm doing because I learned a lot in the past from spending my own money, spending investors' money, and like being burnt out. So I started Jules actually at the intersection of my experience, so like supply chain operations, my passion about CPG, my interest in new technology like AI, and also my values that I spent time putting on paper before I started this as a father and like building a family. What are my values in what I'm eating, how I'm dealing with my customer? I put everything on paper, and then I said, you know what? This is what I'm going to build. I'm going to build a snack that helps me every day, because every day when I'm working, I'm hungry. I go eat something. I feel good while eating it, but I feel bad after eating it.
Yeah,
It's like
exactly.
too oily. It's like it's bloating. You get
For
the brain
sure.
fog. They're like, you know what? I can just like do things. So I went to the kitchen, grabbed my favorite snacks, so dates, nuts, stuff like that, mixed them all together, tasted it. It's great. It's amazing. I love it. Now, how can we take it to the next level? Because I was thinking about the marketing piece of it. If I just go out there and tell people, hey, I have dates and nuts. Like what
That might not do it.
Exactly, yeah. So I said like, right, how can I make it functional? So I started with my own problem. So first like bloating and gut health. So that's where the ginger and turmeric is coming from. So I did
good.
some research. That was ChatGPT early days. So I went there, hey ChatGPT, this is what I'm trying to create. How can we make it functional? And then start like suggesting like ingredients. What about this? What about that? Ashwagandha for my focus. I found out 3 years ago that if I don't eat anything for the whole day, I would be as focused as like nothing else. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, this feels amazing. How can I keep it? But I'm still hungry. So ashwagandha came to the mix. Like, right, so try ashwagandha, dates, nuts. And man, it's like it's super full. So I did this. And then came the third problem, which is, of course, was the ADHD. I can go to bed. So like, how can I fix this?
I have this problem. I mean, I was up till 2 last night. This is like the third night in a row I've been up till 2. I don't know what happens.
So I made the lavender and chamomile jewels for you and for everyone. So I was like, all right, so now I can fix the breakfast problem, I can fix the midday problem with ashwagandha, I can fix the evening problem with lavender and chamomile. Let's take this to the market. But here comes the most important part. I'm not spending my kids' money. So I need to make sure that whatever I'm doing in the business is financially sound and the unit economics work from day one. Because yes,
Yeah.
I watch a lot of podcasts, I hear a lot of founders talking, and I can't afford to spend all my money waiting for the LTV to come or waiting for the CAC to stabilize. So I need to do this right the first time. So I started like small and controlly small, because when everything is working, you tend to take more risk, which is fine. So what I did actually was I got my packaging designed on Fiverr. So this packaging cost me $150.
All right, baby.
For 3 flavors.
Let's go.
3 flavors.
That's awesome.
I did everything myself, the panels and everything from my experience as an R&D manager. I did Shopify, all the setup I did myself. So that cost me time, which I had. So I'm like, okay, I have money. I can stay up late. I'm going to do it. I sourced my first pouches from VistaPrint. So I paid like $500 for some pouches. Yes, the unit economics didn't work out, but I like losing $500 is way better than losing like $5,000 on a full
That's
batch.
right.
And then came the production part, the operations. So I was lucky enough to find a co-manufacturer here in Jersey that
Awesome.
they actually have a machine that can make these date bulbs. And
Really?
I went there. I was like, guys, that's great, but the cost doesn't make sense. So those are the dates.
There we go, baby.
The cost doesn't make sense because right now I have like all the ingredients there, and you are spending, I can't remember what was but it didn't work. So I offered them, told them, hey, I have some experience in manufacturing. How about I come to your operation floor? I can add some efficiency to your operation and to mine as well. And then we can bring this down.
Did you really offer that to them? Wow. Did they take it?
They did. Yes, they did. And it was a win-win. And now we are doing like way more than we expected to do. We are doing like some consulting together. We are bringing new people on board. Go ahead, Carl.
That's unbelievable. Crazy. I mean, it is an incredible story where you are basically just, it seems like every little kind of, there's a blockade in front of you and you kind of just chip around it. And then you go through and then you're just like, well, there's too much volume here. Okay, I'm going to chip around it. And then you look for another avenue to try to make this manufacturing angle work, which I would say, I mean, Chris, you can correct me on this. I would say 95% of e-commerce owners would not think about that.
No, like nothing about.
Nothing about. And they would
always
not
on
think
the manufacturing floor. Always. Every run.
That's incredible.
Trying to find the 1% here, the 1% there. And then comes the marketing part and the channel. And we started on Shopify using meta ads, of course, which I spent a lot of meta ads. And then we launched on Amazon back in September. And since September, and now that's like 9 months, we tripled our Shopify revenue on Amazon.
Seriously?
Just because, and we got all the badges. We got the Amazon Choice badge. We got all the fancy badges. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to run this as an experiment, because that's the other approach. Like everything I do in my life, I do it as an A/B test or an experiment. Like you tell me something, I'm going to go validate it and like validate it for my own sake and see if it works. So I did this with Amazon, and then I found out like Amazon's doing way better than Shopify. So let's just move from here to like move most of my time, inventory to Amazon. And so far it's been rewarding. We are ramping up our Shopify store once again with the help of some friends and like creating content and creating ads. And now with the ChatGPT news, you just triggered my ADHD brain. I'm not going to skip like, because now I have a new shining object to chase.
New shiny object to test out there, Haitham.
Yeah, we're gonna go where the money is.
Tell me this. What would you consider your competitors to be, Haitham? Because when I think of what you have done, I feel like it kind of stands on its own. It's dates, but there's nuts involved, and you've got this kind of like functional form factor tied to it, with the different ingredients you're using. I mean, this feels it feels unique to me. But I'm sure there are some other people that you're kind of naturally competing against on Amazon, et cetera. Is that the case?
Correct. So the funny part is I was approaching this from first principle. So I didn't do any market research before starting. I was like, hey, I have an idea, I'm going to test it. And then the more I test and the more I get exposure, the more competitors I find. And
All
actually,
right.
we just got our first season desist, which is like great news because now we are
Wow.
we are out there. People are seeing us. So we got our first season desist, and we're gonna change our brand name. So I spent like almost a year and a half now building Jules, but now we need to change to a new brand name. Which for me, it's a fun project. It's a chance to go to the next level. But yeah, along the way, I found some competitors. So there are some brands making the same form factor, which is like date balls, mixed date balls. Some of them are almost same flavors, but none of them is functional. And this
I
is a key
see.
piece. This is a key piece because I was hesitant at first. Like, should I make something that's functional or tasty or delicious, whatever it is? And then the data gives me the confidence to say, like, hey, we are a functional brand. We will stay the functional brand. Form factor can change, but the functionality is what's driving this. And
I
it
like
comes back from our customers. I call our customers, like I call them on the phone, have like 5-10 minutes conversation, asking them like, hey, why did you buy Jules? Why are you buying it again? Like, what I hear from people, it validates the thesis I have. People buy Jules because it's functional, it makes them feel better.
like
They
it.
crave it first, they like the taste and the texture, and then after that they feel so good.
It's wild too because we had Van Man on the show. Chris, I don't know if
Yeah.
you remember that.
Yeah.
And he was talking about, one of the categories where if he had extra time, he's fully strapped, he's running a million things. He said, there's this category of better for you dates that could easily be an 8-figure brand and just nobody's tackling it the right way. It's so interesting that you're going after this because I think it's going to be such a home run because I think this functional piece is the cherry on top of everything. Could you talk to us a little bit about what you're thinking about for the rebrand and how you're going to be approaching that from maybe even a designs or a naming
Yeah.
convention?
Yeah.
Sure. So we are rebranding at the same time we are adding between 4 and 5 more flavors. Because
Oh,
why not? We have been testing like 10 or 12 flavors so far, and we have
let's
leading
go.
4 or 5. Yes, so we are, and the main reason we are launching more flavors is because when you are online, especially on Amazon, there is no limit, there is no shelf space, so there is no
Yeah.
limit what you can offer,
Yeah.
and people love them. And we are designing the new brand with retail in mind. So now that we are starting to talk to some retailers, some local and regional retail stores, I was like, you know what? Let's do it right this time. Let's spend as much time as we need on the rebrand. Make sure that we have the right flavor lineup. And the flavor piece, actually, I got it from lots of people and customers that, hey, I can give you some sneak peeks. We're gonna do peanut butter and chocolate. So this was like the most
So
requested
good.
flavor ever. It's
So
like you
good.
have to
Really?
do peanut butter and chocolate.
It's
We
so
are not
good.
sure yet
It's
how we
so
can add the
delicious.
functionality part, but dates are functional enough on their own.
Oh,
So we can,
Interesting.
and then we will have some like coffee and espresso flavors.
Oh, I
We will
like
have
oh,
that.
some, yeah, we'll have some berries, and the list can go on flavors. But again, we are trying to also minimize the paradox choice. So we have customers who are curious to taste our new flavors, but we want them to enjoy each one of them and pick their favorite. So yeah, rebrand is coming, new name, new graphics, 4 or 5 more flavors, and hopefully in a place near you, wherever you are.
That's
oh,
exciting, Hytham. That's
that's
I'm
incredible.
so
exciting, man.
excited. Yeah,
I
it's so
think
exciting.
I think you are right in the zeitgeist, the
Yeah.
cresting wave of, you know, flipping the food pyramid, eating real food, clean ingredients,
Yeah.
etc. And I think this is an excellent idea, man. And what you have to bring to bear from all of your supply chain experience,
Yeah.
manufacturing floor. I mean, I think this gives you a real advantage in what you're doing. Man, when the rebrand is out and the new flavors are here, brother, we got to have you back, and we got to get the update on how things are rolling. And then I hope to see you in HEB in Central Texas very soon, my friend.
Of course. And on the shelf just behind you.
Yeah, exactly. That's right. That's right. Hey, we'll get you on the Wall of Fame. We'll get you on the Wall of Fame back here. Yes. Absolutely. Haitham, we appreciate you joining us, brother. We look forward to having you back.
It's a pleasure. Thank you. Take care.